Hey beekeeps, what's up? Another little quickie report from Steve-O. I've got these 3 boxes here. I had quite a bit. There was a little bit of honey left in here. The bees were robbing it out. This is from the die-outs from my mosquito control devastation. There's more right over there. Those are all die-outs. Those are all bees out of commission. The bees are hungry, as you can see. They're really hungry. This is a test bottle that I always put out to see how they're doing. Mosquitoes, you go in this swamp here. Mosquitoes are absolutely horrendous. I picked up this little sprayer at Lowe's. It was real cheap. It's a ½ gallon. You can see that material. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, it's kind of a brownish material. And for that ½ gallon, you put in 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons from the stuff I'm hearing per gallon. Yeah, got to come in here because it's 10,000 degrees out there in sunny Florida. Yeah, so this is the product here: biological insecticide, dry flowable, yada yada yada. Let's hit some of the highlights here on this, just for giggles. I got a little mini wind whipper here. Oh, let's kind of review it here a little bit. Take off. Here it says hold. First aid. Hold. Slowly rinse. You get it in your eyes for 15 minutes. Remove contacts, lenses. Yeah. Contaminated clothing, skin immediately with plenty of wash, with plenty of water. Call poison control. Remove the fresh air. Don't, you know, they got the whole laundry list here of goodies. Causes moderate eye irritation. Avoid contact with skin, eyes. I've seen people spraying this, holding it, and getting it all over their hands. I did not use this stuff with gloves on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go here. Thought I'd give you a quickie report on what's going on in my world with mosquito control people. I called them and we've been voicemailing back and forth. They come on board after I go to bed because they're doing their stuff at night. So I contacted the fellow. I'm not going to give you his name. I also contacted my bee inspector lady, and that whole conversation was a little wishy-washy. You know, it's like when you're talking to somebody, it's like less is more. Yeah, like, okay, let's talk about this, but let's do less is more. Kind of the way it went. Nice lady, I'm not going to give you her name. She's a state bee inspector. Then I talked to the head guy down at one of the guys, mosquito control, and basically he admitted it. Yeah, basically he admitted it, and I voicemailed him, told him my situation. I'm out about probably $4,000 worth of bees and revenue that I could have got from those bees, because here I've been counting on these bees, you know, giving me a nice paycheck for pepper coming up. I'm getting the bees built up, stealing a little bit, not enough to hurt them, a little bit of the cabbage palm, and pretty soon, September 15th, Brazilian pepper. But now that I've been torched with all these kill-offs, I've got to take all the honey and products and stuff I make to build up more bees. So I don't see any honey crop, anything that I can be selling. I'm going to have to use it strictly for building up bees again. Whatever profit I make, which there will be no profit, what other honey I make will be going back into the operation to build up more bees. Had a fella call me from up north. He called and he said, "Is this Steve?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I am so-and-so, and I am also a beekeeper, and I saw your video on YouTube. I am also in the mosquito control business." I thought, oh boy, here we go. Is he gonna jump on my ass? But no, he did not. Very, very nice guy. Beekeeper too, by the way. He's in mosquito control and he's a beekeeper. He said, "Let me tell you a quick story. My neighbor, he said, I happen to love blackberries. My neighbor hates blackberries." So what was my neighbor doing? He was out herbiciding, poisoning all of the blackberries on his side of the fence property. I realized what he was doing, and I went over to look at my hives, and my hives were dying. He was killing my bees. He said I was picking up handfuls of bees and their tongues were stuck out, dead. He said what he were doing is hitting the poison flowers, coming back and dying. He said, I went over there and said, "Sir, you got to stop what you're doing. Cease and desist. You are killing my bees." And the guy freaked out and goes, "What?" Yes, it's a common mistake. Just didn't, and that's a lot of the problems we have today. Nobody is really thinking environmental stuff today. I have a problem, I got to torch it, and without thinking about the consequences of all this shenanigans. Well, the guy was very apologetic and this and that, and he ceased and desist. He said, "Hey, listen, what you do on your property is your business, right? But if you don't like blackberries, that's fine. Poison them after the bloom stops. You cannot do it while it's blooming." So when he told me that story, and I've been thinking this way before this man talked to me, this situation with poisoning, aerial spraying, choppers, and all this shenanigans, I'm thinking, my God, I got cabbage palms shooting up 50, 60 feet in the freaking air with these great big flower pods, guys. These things are big around, you can't get your arm around. They're long too. There could be 6, 8 of them hanging out. They're still going today. Right now, they started in June, and it's still going. It's slowed way down, but it's still going. I can take you right over here. I think I showed you that plaza right here. They're still, they're putting out like crazy. I don't know what the deal is on that, why in that parking lot they're still pumping, and they've been pumping for some time, unless they are throwing out some fertilizer to those palms in there. Maybe that's what they're doing, and palms are really responding to feeding or something. That's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, I've been thinking about this, these choppers flying over and blasting these mosquitoes with this poison, and all that stuff settling on the bloom. Well, their thing was, when this homeowner called, this lady called and told him, "Look, listen, you guys just sent me a message that we're going to start aerial spraying for mosquitoes tonight." She said, she called them, and the guy said, "It's fine, ma'am. The bees are in the hive at night. We spray at night. Everything's hunky-dory." Well, that's just somebody running his mouth, has no clue, okay? He has no clue what he was talking about. Now we have toasted bees. The remaining hives I have, I'm going to try to stay on the waterfront, okay? I'm going to try to get these people to stop what they're doing. I was in yesterday looking. Okay, I visited the sites yesterday, except the one way down south. I only have 2 colonies there. They've made it through all the shenanigans so far, those 2 down there. Hopefully they're still fine. They are thriving. I even had some extra, bought some extra syrup in case they needed feeding or whatever. They were fine. They had plenty of stores. I have robbed honey from them 2 girls down there. They're fine. Anyway, I talked to the, voicemailing this guy back and forth. I hope to talk to him tonight. But and he finally came back. I voicemailed him. And then later on, I got his voicemail. That was this morning. He said, "Got your voicemail. He didn't say anything." I asked him about compensation. I told him, I said, I'm out probably $4,000 worth of bees and product here. Is there any compensation? Well, he didn't say anything about that. Of course, they're probably really puckered up about this. And hey, I guess, guys, I'm getting, beekeepers like myself are getting scarce as, I don't know, maybe Yetis and Florida Panthers. I don't know. They're not having to deal with this much because we're far and few between us beekeepers. And I would have never known any of this stuff, guys, if I was sitting here on base camp, just doing my thing out here with bees, producing bees, buying sugar, making bees, selling to hobbyists. I probably never would have discovered any of this deep, dark craziness that's going on. I have opened, guys, a can of flippin' worms, okay? And the whole bucket stinks. It needs to be dumped, flushed, rinsed out, and redone. Redo the entire operation. You always see these shows. Oh, the bees. You hear it on the news. Oh, the bees. Not many beekeepers, hardly much anymore. The bees are in trouble. Every third bite of food has an impact on human life because the bees are pollinating our food source. We have to save the bees. And then we come into this situation where we just get aerial blasted and kill them off. No one, see, they're getting away with this stuff, and they probably are innocent people. They're thinking they're doing fine because they're killing mosquitoes and stuff. And I hear they're putting out malathion or some pellets in the water. This is totally insanity. You're poisoning the water. Those fish eat mosquito larvae, the little bitty fish. Those little fish get eaten by bigger fish, so on and so forth, up the chain. You know the story. Humans eat them big fish. We are poisoning this planet, guys, with stupidity. We got to come up. Bob Benny talked about the other day, varroa mites. You got talking about varroa mites. He said, well, I'm a chemical guy. I myself are using chemicals. But I'm finding out, like Bob Benny, the wave of the future is going to be hygienic bees. And how you get those? It was ones that survive. The survival bees. They clean each other. They take varroa mites off each other. Europeans not so much. They haven't. The Africanized bees, they've been dealing with this forever. So we've got a biological nightmare going on here in Florida with these mosquitoes, and all the people, guys, all the people, I have bees on their property. They're saying this is a flippin' joke. They've been doing this spraying and fogging forever. They said all the people on the water going, it's a flippin' joke. You don't even go out here at night. These things will lift you out of this swamp. It's a joke. It's just a total waste of time and money and resources. But this is how it happens, guys. You get a need for something. People calling in. I'm getting 8 alive. Calling the county. I'm getting 8 alive. I understand you have a mosquito control office. Oh, yes, we do. Well, this is just all just so ripe for, corruption. Like every government flipping office. I see these trucks, guys, running all over the place. I've been down at the fishing knoll, down here by the water. I see these mosquito truck guys. They run around, jump out of the truck, they take their little net, they run out to the mangroves, they get some kind of sample of whatever they're doing, come back, supposedly they're checking for dengue, fever, bugs, and this and that. It's a flipping joke, guys. It really is a joke. Let nature do its thing, okay? If you can do something, you know, naturally, but this hammering these, if you're all I can say is, guys, if you're hammering one of the best pollinators on the planet, and that'd be a honeybee, you need to shut her down. Shut it down now. So texting back and voicemailing back and forth. I'm hoping to talk to this guy tonight because I have questions. One of the questions is going to be, do you guys have money set aside for compensation for stuff just like this? Because I am out some serious money here. And that $4,000, guys, is actually on the very end low side, conservative side of the situation. Yes. Because I can take this fat productive hive and pull some resources off and make more queens. That was just me figuring out, okay, a double stacked 8, that's roughly $300 right there, and then the honey that those would have produced. That's where I'm coming up with this freaking number. But that's only on 5 hives. What I'm talking about is only on 5 hives. I've got 8 more out there that are sick as a dog, a sick dog. And they didn't, like I said, they didn't look too bad yesterday, but what are they going to look like in a day or two? All I can get over there is about every 3rd day or something to look at these guys, see if they got food and this and that. Those other ones that were there before they crashed had plenty of food, but they got robbed out. So I got a lot of questions for this dude. You're running choppers over, your aerial spraying in full bloom, mind you, full bloom, and it's been going full bloom, guys, since April, because there's saw palmetto in these areas. All the way. This is going to be going from April, guys, all the way, open blooms, all the way into about end of October. And if you wanted more bloom, you can pack your stuff up September, at end of September, October, and head clear to the Everglades and get into the paper punk forest. And you can make another 100 pounds of honey down there. And that, you talk about mosquitoes. I used to guys go all the way to Punta Gorda. I used to go all the way to Punta Gorda down there, and when you got out of the truck, guys, down there, it was in the Brazilian pepper. It's just thick. It is thick. Miles and miles and miles of it. It's invasive. Beekeepers love it. State hates it. Nothing you can do about it. Others start cutting it here and there just to cut paths through it, right? It's like all other invasive stuff, like they deal with tallow trees up further north. We're getting a lot of tallow in here, too. Anyway. The mosquitoes would just about lift you out of that place. I kept plenty of cans of off spray in the truck so you could hit your suit. Don't put it on bare skin, but hit the suit. It would back the bees off too. You putting that deep woods off on your suit. And back then I didn't have thermocells, so I don't even think they were invented back in the day, back in the early 80s. But yeah, it was bad. So, you know, the mosquitoes are something we've been dealing with forever. I mean, it just is what it is. Just deal with it. So the whole flipping mosquito control people, this whole thing is so bizarre. And I probably wouldn't have known any of this if I was just sitting here making bees at base camp, guys. But I decided now to go along there. So what the solution is, the guy told me, is to, the whole solution is to have him, he voicemailed me back. He says, Steve-O, what I'm gonna need from you is addresses, the addresses from each of those locations you have, and we will go to the map and we'll mark them, X them as red zones so we don't spray. So what does that mean? Does that mean if you're running on a ground fog truck, you have a toggle switch, you turn it off 1 block before the red zone address, and then you drive by the address and flip it back on? Or how in the hell do you do that? I guess you can do that easily with GPS from the air in a helicopter. So, oh, we're coming up on a red zone. Okay, kill the pumps. Okay, now the wind's blowing, right? And it just fogs all over, hits that area. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, fire up the switch again and keep going. You see what I'm saying, guys? The whole thing is stupid. Hey, if you want to move down on the water or you want to move into the middle of a cypress swamp, go for it. I don't care. But leave the natural stuff alone. Oh, we have to kill the mosquitoes that are carrying the Bengay and this virus and that virus. Yeah, okay. Is that anything like the Fauci shot, guys? You gotta have the COVID shot. What a scam that was. Total scam, and you're hurting people doing that. The total joke. If you died from COVID, it was a cold virus, okay? That they invented. It was granted probably a badass cold virus, but they say you take the shot. Take this shot. Our great president that can't hit his ass with both hands, okay? He says, take the shot and you won't get the virus. Now, he got the freaking virus shortly after he took the shot, which he probably never took the shot. I got the stupid shot and got it anyway. Okay, sick as a dog. Yeah, okay. What a flipping joke. What did I take? What kind of shot they give me? Sugar water? It hurt like a son of a bitch. I know that much. What a joke. The whole thing's a joke. Just to make money. It's scammers. Left-wing scammers. That's all we got. All we're dealing with. Crooked scammers. And there's no telling how much shenanigan is going on, guys, with this mosquito stuff. You know yourself. Chemical companies and big ag, right, have a huge control on lawmakers. They're all doing backroom deals, all right? We just sit around just accepting this nonsense. They're putting it up our backsides. We didn't ask for anything up our backside. That hole down there is an outie, not an innie. But they want to give you an innie every frickin' time you turn around. And it's mostly on the left. This new group of turkeys that are coming up and running for president, these two clowns we got, male and female clowns, you know who they are. Just as corrupt and crooked as they come. If they get in office, guys, we are in deep trouble. Don't listen to these people. They're freaking flipping goofy. But who knows how it's going to go. Brainwashing works pretty good. Hitler did it. A lot of them did it. Yeah, if you don't believe me, well, we have to take away, that's one other thing. Let's take away your guns. That way you're totally helpless. Now we can really bend you over and put it in that back hole. Okay? No, that's an outie. You're not going back there. Once they get you handled, and they're doing it quite nicely, they're warping minds. Half this country's screwed up by listening to these fools. It's amazing what human beings can be sucked into. It really is amazing. But you know yourself, these chemical people, they tell every farmer out there, you're going to use our seed. Oh yeah, by the way, it's Roundup Ready seed. How poisonous is this stuff, guys? This is another reason I don't like, I'm a carnivore. I don't want any of this crap. You're gonna feel so much better. You get away from this grains they keep talking about. I got a doctor, guys, my primary. Oh yeah, he is so deep. They're all left wing, all of them. He is so deep into, he tells you to eat sugar, mind you, of all things. He also tells you to eat a diet, variety diet with lots of fruits, vegetables, and grains. It's all a huge lie, all of it. But they are convincing people, and I know a lot of, and I know it's hard for you to believe, a lot of highly intelligent people that just suck up this information and believe it, just like it's pure as facts. So it's going to be interesting to see, keep following along with old Steve-O, how he does here with this. I'll probably know tonight. I'll probably communicate. I'm going to have to stay up late because this dude comes in late. I'm not sure what time he punches the time clock. But I've got a lot of questions for him. I've already contacted some homeowners. I haven't got them all. I got to run this by them. I don't, just talking to people, you can tell what side of the aisle they're on. And all these people I have, I haven't said anything about Trump or nothing. But you can tell they're mega, right? Which is make America great again, people. The left is telling you mega is some sort of sinister deal going on. It's really bad. Oh, these mega guys, oh, they're bad. They're going to destroy democracy. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what they do on the left. They flip it. Like I told you, the little Johnny in the cookie jar. It's the same scenario with these flipping goofballs, guys. It's just human nature and greed is all it is. That's all it is. I'm gonna do something for you. What can you do for me? That's not how I was brought up and raised. No. Get your ass out there and get a flat shovel and scrape out that hog pen and get that cow crap scooped up and get it out in the manure pile. Or you're not going to have breakfast. How's that one, bucko? That's how it needs to go. Get out there. No, here's a bunch of free crap. Just like the left now, with all this craziness. I don't want to get too nuts on it because my blood pressure is going to go up. But you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just totally out of control. And this killing of my friggin' bees. I'm gonna be hammering on this, guys. I don't know if there's any legal action here. I don't even want to go down that road. But I'm gonna ask the people that have killed my bees. And they basically admitted it. Because they said, we want, Steve, send me all the addresses of these spots where you have bees and had a problem. And we'll put you on the red zone. We'll put all these addresses in the red zone. So I got to nail that down. I'm going to say to the guy, oh, what do you mean? Are you going to be staying away from the 5 miles from this area? Or 1 block? Or 1 house past? Because if they tell me there's something about, well, we'll come up to your address and we'll click it off on the PL line, and we get over to this PL line and turn the switch back on. I'm going to tell them, you people are flipping nuts, okay? Nuts. We don't know. We don't know where this is going, guys. But old Steve-O has opened a can, I'm telling you, a can of stinking, rotting worms. And if you pulled into that yard with me like I did the other day and smelled the rot and the decay, it would make you sick. And then you'd really want to lose your cookies when I opened the beehive. There was this much dead bees in the bottom of them boxes. So I talked to my inspector lady, Tallahassee, and she said, kind of, this whole thing was kind of giggly, like, welcome to farming, you know. Kind of the way the attitude was. There was no really sincerity of the thing. She sounded like a good lady. Martin's met the woman. He had to have clearance before he could get his bees out of this state. So he went through her. I talked to her, seemed like a very sensible lady, but she was kind of giggly about it. I don't think there's anything giggly about anything, losing $4,000 worth of bees. And I may lose everything. Like I said, they looked pretty decent yesterday. But if they come, I don't have the addresses to this guy. They could be driving that friggin' truck or chopper right tonight and finish toasting everything. So I have to know when this chopper's flying, but how much delay time, this is the other foggy thing. You don't know what delay time is to spraying and what time it finally takes to kill the bees. This stuff may drift and come down, and I don't know if it's a droplet effect or if their bees are actually sucking poison off the blooms. How can you aerial spray something, guys? Let me ask you, how can you aerial spray something over a food source and your critters eat it and bring it back to the hive, right? And that not kill them? Now, is it a drop of a chemical, or is it a drop of chemical on their food source, which they're doing at night? The whole story was, that's the other great thing. The lady on one of my sites, they sent her a notice. We are spraying with a chopper tonight. We're spraying with a chopper tonight. A little heads up for you. She immediately called, said, listen, you're spraying tonight. I have beehives in this yard. They said, oh ma'am, don't get puckered up, because bees fly only during the day and we work at night. The bees are inside the hive. Well, that's somewhat true, yes. But there's a lot of bees out, guys. They work to the last little bit of light, bees do. And if they get caught out there in a thunderstorm, what do? They come up underneath a leaf and use it as an umbrella, and they'll sit there till first light. They don't fly around at night unless you're kicking a hive. Then they're flying blind and stinging everything in sight. Ask me how I know that one. So there's a lot of bees out. I have proven that myself. I have shut the gate down on hives after the sun went down. I've proven this to myself. I've shut the gate on them and come back in the morning, and there'd be a nice cluster of bees around that entrance trying to get in that hive that were stuck out all night in the boondocks. So yeah, if they're getting poisoned out there, they probably just fall off the freaking limb or tree or leaf or whatever they're on out there and drop dead. So I dumped out. I went in there yesterday, guys, cleaning out hives, the remaining hives. And you could see the stench. I opened up, it was stinking like a dead horse. And I looked down, and the bees were kind of livened up a little bit, like this kill is going on. But these were jam-packed hives. These things were rocking and rolling, guys. Lots of sealed brood. Well, these bees are hatching. Apparently the bees are in the cell didn't get poison. It's the bees walking around, right, on the frames. The little new bees in the frame, in the cells, emerged, and they're kind of busy running around like, what's up? This is a stinking ass mess in here. There's this much dead bees. On my beefy beehives, there's quite a bit of room underneath there. I don't have much ladder comb in that at all. You'd think you'd have a lot of ladder coming off of that 8th screen. Yeah, they come flying straight through that 1 3/4 hole I bore in the front end. That's all I use. I always use a 1 3/4 hole bore bit. got a hole like that. That hole right there is plenty big enough for a 2-stack 8-framer. I don't care what anybody says. You don't need that slot across the bottom. Not in my world. No, not in my. Every hive out there in La La Land has got a. You got a stand. You got a full entry across the whole hive. Them days are over. First Evo. I don't need that. Because I used to move bees 4 times a year, guys. I was moving bees 4 different locations. I would end up Gulf Hammock. If you look up that on Florida, I was going all the way up there. And my furthest south yard was clear down to Naples. And I lived in Dunedin. So if you look at Dunedin, pull up Dunedin, Florida, right on the west coast. Dunedin, Florida. I lived there. My whole operation ran from Gulf Hammock clear to Naples. 4 moves a year. I would move, first move was over east of Brandon on 39, which they call the Ridge. That back in the day was loaded with orange groves. Beautiful. And I got a location with grapefruit, great big pink, guys, pink grapefruit. This dude let me in there. I was making the prettiest water white honey you ever seen. It looked like Carol's syrup, guys. It was water white. Tons of honey, tons of that stuff. Pull out of there, go to Hammock. I'd stay up there. It started February over there, and end of March. I would go up to Gulf Hammock and stay from June all the way to September 1st. Then I would haul ass to Northport, Port Charlotte. Then I'd pull out of there. That was a month, and I'd pull out of there and go clear down to Naples into punk forest for another month for 100 pounds of punk honey, which stinks like that. That honey smells like. That nasty honey smells like, guys, rotting potatoes. If you can imagine that. It's a big. They got them in Australia. The big white flower, this big around and about A long. It looks like bottle brush we have here. I think that's from Australia also. And the bees like that too, but this one we have here is red. Punk, paper tree, metalluca, all the same. It does not like frost. So that's why it's not up here. I do have one tree, I'm amazed, it's right here on Little Road, just before Trinity. On the right, and why there's not a bunch of it there, I don't know. It's a one single tree. It's got to be 20 feet in the flipping air, and why the state hasn't seen that and freaked out and gone in and chopped it down, herbicided it, whatever, I don't know. But it's there. I imagine it's been there for years, and I don't know. We had tons of it in Dunedin and Clearwater back in the day. Punk. People were chopping that stuff down, and it just keeps coming up. And we made tons of honey off of that back in that when I was a kid. Back in the 60s, we had it, and yeah. So I've been working these bees a long time and seen a lot of shenanigans. But yeah, I mean, we have a long bee season. If we don't get killed out by stupidity, okay, we can make some money here. We really can. But and I had my heart set on making some honey this year, but I don't see it happening. It's been a total burnout with the stupidity that's happened. And there, of course, they're going to say, why didn't you call us? Well, the lady did call. She called and said, we have bees here. They didn't give a rat's ass, guys. They went and sprayed anyway. They just, the bullshit story was, bees are in at night. We fog and spray at night. Therefore, you're going to be fine. They don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to control something and don't know what they are talking about. I got no confidence at all or help or the lady gave me, the state lady gave me a number to call, and this is some environment. It was an 850, and that's a Tallahassee number. She said they would send an if you think you've been poisoned, call these people. They'll send an investigator out And they will inspect the hive, they will swab it, they will take samples of bees, they will go to the lab, they will check those bees and see what kind of poison killed them. And then they will start an investigation where it came from, find out who the culprit is, and then charge them with that. You're probably not going to see anything. She didn't say this, but you're probably still not going to see any, compensation. This kind of stupid, guys, happens all the time. We let these government people get out of control, and right now that's what we have in this country. We have government out of control, and it's on the right and it's on the left. They're all making backroom deals. Yeah. And it's, if a backwoods beekeeper gets it, why isn't there more people getting it, guys? I don't understand this. I really don't. But we're going to keep digging into it. We're going to keep peeling back the layers of dead worms in this can. I want some answers. I want some answers. And I would like some compensation. I enjoy what I do, but it's got to be profitable. I can't just keep digging into the empty cookie jar. Miss Daisy's not going to take it. I'm telling you guys. She wants accountability. Where is the money? Show me the money. And I don't blame her. She's the one who writes the checks, guys, for all my shenanigans. She cuts the checks. I never look at the paperwork. All I know is Miss Daisy says, "You're out of freaking money, bro. Show me the money." So it's my job to show her the money. She wants to see the sales on nuke sales. She wants to know how much I'm spending for sugar. She wants to know how much gasoline costs to run all over the flipping place with a high-end Joe's gas. You know how stupid that is. Yes. So anyway, again, I'm calling here to vent, but I'm giving you an update, okay? And everybody thinks that, a lot of you guys out there thinks this is a funny flipping joke. When Steve O is taking a swift kick in the crotch and the balls. Okay, you guys think it's funny. It's always funny, when you see somebody get kicked in the balls. It's a real tee-hee until you are getting kicked in the balls. You keep listening to these goofballs trying to run your life, you too are going to get kicked in the balls. You better watch what's going on. Steve-O's here to tell you. You're going to get your balls kicked in, and then they're trying to put it in your backside. Well, that hole is, as you know, is an outie, not an in. Okay? That's all I got for you today, guys. It's all about outies and innies. And we're going to keep on them. I'll keep you updated. Fingers crossed. Will my bees survive all this? I don't know. And like I said, I would have never known any of this. Well, Wendy the witch, I told you about her right over here. Wendy the witch called them on the carpet, all of them. Said, "Listen, I have a friend. He lives in the woods. He's an old beekeeper. He lives right over there. And if you kill off all his bees, I'm coming after you people. He's not going to be happy. Him and I both are probably going to come after you people. He will not be happy. Look at the carnage you created here with that stupid truck, fog truck. You killed all these critters." And she's got live oaks there, guys. Live oaks. Because Katie did the stuff, they're just screaming up in those trees. She said, "I went out there, they've been screaming, they're mating and stuff," right? The tree frogs, great big moths. She said all those moths and stuff, they're hanging out on her property because they're nighttime pollinators. You're just not bees pollinating stuff, right? Here they were trying to target mosquitoes. Guys, they took out everything. The whole place was carpeted. It was a power blast from hell. She said, I have tree frogs dead over here. What in the hell are these people using to kill tree frogs? She said, this is insanity. This is our government people, guys. Out of control, running things, no accountability. She was some kind of piss. She called me, Steve-O, you better get over here and look at this mess. I'm bringing a guy in here tomorrow. If you want to stand by and watch this ass chewing, you can. I said, well, this is bad. I said, I imagine you'll fill them in quite nicely. She said, oh, I'm going to fill them in all right. Yeah, I'm going to get up some hiney big time. This ain't happening. She's this woman, Wendy the Witch. She's got a green thumb from hell. She grows so much cool stuff over there. It's unbelievable. She don't want to do nothing to do with the bees other than look at them flying in her trees. She couldn't believe it when she saw all my bees over there. She said, I've been wondering for years where all these bees are coming from. And I said, well, I'm so glad that you like bees. She said, I don't want to get stung by them, but they're not going to sting anybody working blooms. I said, no, they're not going to. The only time you're going to get stung is you come over here with a baseball bat and start beating on my hives. Then you're going to get your ass kicked. But right now, they're working these blooms. You're fine. It's funny. I've got a Cuban up front here, guys. I like the guy. He's funny. He's a fisherman. He's not a hunter, but he's a fisherman. But anyway, he's got up one single cabbage palm right in by his driveway where he pulls in his vehicle. That thing was stalking out, guys. Them bees look like they're blowing up the whole freaking top. That thing's just pumping. I've seen it driving down the road. I pick it right up. You know, you can see those blooms. I pick it right up. He said there's a cloud of bees around it. He said, I told him, don't drive up next to that tree. He won't even run his mower around. I started laughing when he told me that. He said, man, your bees are over here just hammering this tree. I said, what are you talking about? That cabbage palm by your house? Yeah. I started laughing. I said, don't freak out, bro. They're just having lunch. That's all they're doing. They're having lunch. And he said, well, they're dangerous. I said, no, they're not. I said, you want to see danger? Have you been stung yet by any of those bees flying around that tree? No, but I back up quite a ways with my vehicle. I said, you don't need to worry, bro. You can put your vehicle right next to that thing. You might get some bee shit on your windshield. Don't freak out. Really? He said, really? I said, yeah, really. I said, those are foraging bees. They're not, they're there, their job is to get nectar and get their ass, nectar and pollen, and get their ass back to the box and put it in the friggin' locker, food locker. Really? So he got a little educated on bees. I said, if you want to get bee stung, though, get your baseball bat, come over and beat on some of my bee hives. See what happens. He said, no, that ain't happened. I said, you're a good little thinker, man. You're a good thinker. And you guys be good thinkers, too, because, you know, I'm glad you guys are looking out for me, doing comments and stuff. You want to call and bust my ball, you know, drop little comments busting my balls like, you're acting like Elizabeth Warren there, warrior, yeah, all this other stuff. You guys want to drop comedy stuff, you know, if you love me getting kicked in the balls and you think you're laughing, you think it's funny. It's all funny and fun and games till it happens to you. So have fun with it, guys. Keep cracking my balls. You don't bother me a bit. If you get too squirrely, I just hit the discontinue button there. It's real easy. And you hit that, and then you disappear forever on my site. You won't be able to comment no more. But have fun with it. Enjoy it. But you should be backing me up and talking more about this stuff. Let other beekeepers know. Let people like that's in the spray business. Let them know what's going on here in sunny Florida with old Steve-O. And as far as I'm concerned, guys, we need to shut it all spring down. Okay, guys, so let's wrap it up. But what I'm thinking, if they get too crappy with me, what I may do, old Geronimo Steve-O may do, we're setting up red zone. So if you're doing this, turn the switch on, go past the red zone, turn it on, and you just keep killing bees, right? What I will probably do is set up, hire a whole team. Maybe I'll just do this till I drop dead. Hire an entire team, invest all the money I can, buying bees, beehive stands, put a salesman on the road with my business cards, and have him run from the Everglades along this coast. I don't think I'll work the East Coast. Yeah, no, I think I'll just do the West Coast. From Everglades all the way to Panama City. Yeah, the entire coast. I will hit every residential area all the way up, and just put 3 to 4 hives per site from the Everglades to Panama City. Okay, yeah, and just string them out, and that way I can have the entire Florida West Coast shoreline covered with bees, and make it all, every bit of the West Coast, a red zone. So you will not be able to run a chopper, a fog truck, or anything. And all the people that I talked to so far, these homeowners, they said, put my address out there. These people love me, guys. These people love me. These are... Yeah, guys, battery went dead. I had to change it out. I've been BSing for so much. Yeah, it's I'm really finding the passion that I really didn't, since I've been doing this along the coast thing. I didn't realize how much passion there is in bees, with people in bees. It's really quite amazed me. My passion has been way back when I was very young when I started this. I didn't actually get a hive until I think I was 13. But the passion's always been there, but people are realizing, oh my God, we have got to have beekeepers, we got to have bees. Now, most people don't want to work bees, I understand that, and they're quite nervous of bees. That's why I've been working diligently on trying to make calm bees wherever I can. So anyway, the people, and I told them I might have to pull out. Some of them got emotional, guys. They didn't want to see me go. And I said, I don't know yet. I have to sleep on it. So I slept on it, rethinking it, and crossing my fingers and contacting people and telling them they basically know where we're at, but we gotta nail these addresses down and tell them they're gonna be in the no zone with all this stuff. And I'm tying up a bunch of real estate, guys, a lot of real estate, with just a few hives. I'm only talking like maybe 14, 15 hives. I'm down now to about 8 hives. Yeah, with all this stupid shenanigans. But that ties up a lot of real estate, believe it or not, when you're only dropping 2, 3 to location. So they're going to have a bunch of red zones, and I'm looking for more locations. You guys along the waterfront up here in 34654 area, if you got some nice nooks and crannies along the waterfront, you let me know. I want to tie up some more real estate. And I've got some competition beekeepers out there going, hey Steve-O, We have a lot of those spots. I've been trying to talk. Everybody's got lockjaw for some reason. They don't want to talk. Of course, a lot of the guys that are in this, guys, let's face it, it's like fishing and hunting locations. You have honey holes. We used to call them honey holes for hunting and fishing. They're honey holes. Well, this is a for real honey hole, guys. And they are very tight-lipped. You're not going to get any answers from no one. But I would like to talk to some commercial guys to see what their experiences is on this mosquito control nonsense. Be happy, guys, if you can. Be strong. We're going to keep getting it on, and I'll keep you posted and keep you updated on what's happening with Steve-O's base camp. See ya.